Welcome to Comics on TV for the week of December 6, 2015. I'm your host, Gigi.
And I'm Big Rick, and we're filling in for Josh and Jump Street this week. You're welcome.
Hey, that's my line. As always, we're here with a recap of your favorite comic-related shows for the week. Rick, why don't you start things off by telling us what happened on The Flash?
Ho, ho, ho! The holiday cheer is running rampant on this week's Flash. And who better to help the people of Central City have a white Christmas with lots of toys than none other than Weather Wizard, the Trickster, and Captain Cold. Like all holiday gatherings, not every visitor is welcome or wants to stay. So, once Captain Cold discovers Weather Wizard's plan to kill the Flash and possibly many others as well, he gives the Wiz the cold shoulder and ditches his crew, thus giving him an opportunity to give Barry a little heads up on the Wiz's plan, only to then go his merry way, right into Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, he did have to get broken out of jail so he could get on that show, right? Am I right? With the crazy mind of Trickster played by Mark Hamill, the two come up with a pretty decent plan. But come on, Barry has a whole team of big brain science types at his side, so the Christmas criminals are easily thwarted. The team saves the day, and Patty shows that she can have restraint by not killing Weather Wizard, and Wally West appears in the end. So all in all, a good episode with, oh yeah, Zoom making a deal with Earth 2 Dr. Wells. But wait, with the Flash gathering up all these known speedsters from the comics, it'll be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out in the second half of this season.
So many mid-season finales this week. What the heck are we going to do next week?
Well, we still have another week of Supergirl, though. What happened this week to set the finale up?
It's so weird to talk about Supergirl without Josh's creepy intro. But I'll try. What do you get when you take Supergirl and subtract all her powers? You get well-intentioned but completely unequipped Kara Danvers and this week's episode of Supergirl. Yes, tragic but true, it seems the battle with Red Tornado last week left our favorite female Cape Crusader feeling like someone on a high-fiber diet. You know, regular. The intensity she expelled was more than her little body could handle, and far more than a few sessions in her DEO tanning bed could repair. Gone are the days of flying and X-ray vision and invincibility. In this episode, Kara ends up with a cold and a broken arm. See what happens when you try and save the world? Anyway, of course timing couldn't be worse for National City to lose their hero, as now there is a mind-reading menace on the loose named Gem. No, not this Gem. No, not that Gem either. This Gem.
I am Gem, master of the faceless hunters, conqueror of
12 worlds. Yeah, I heard you the first 10 times. It's not getting any more impressive.
Yet another Fort Ross prisoner. This guy is not messing around either. His ability to read minds gives him access to secure DEO info and the ability to release the other Fort Ross prisoners. To make matters worse, Alex is having to rely on Hank, who she thinks killed her dad. Or at least isn't the guy she thought he was. But we find out that Hank hasn't just had a bad case of pink eye this whole time. He's actually a shape-shifting alien who took on the image of Hank in order to protect Alex, as he had promised her father he would do on his deathbed. Enter total badass character Jean Johns, aka Martian Manhunter. So excited for this reveal. This week gave me one of my fave moments all season as a frustrated and desperate Kara, watching her city falling apart, decides she can't give up. So with no powers to back her up, she talks down a robber mid-robbery with just the power of persuasion and a pretty smile. Thus proving you don't need superpowers to be a hero. And I love that. Wynn finds out through his research, stalker, that the only way Kara may get her powers back is to experience a Kryptonian level of adrenaline. So being the awesome guy he is, James Olsen falls down an elevator shaft, prompting Kara to spring into action and rescue him. Yay, all is well, just kidding. Supergirl's bitch Aunt Astra is back and ready to finish what she started. In the words of another crime fighter,
why won't you die?
Only one episode left in 2015.
Nice Austin Powers reference. If Josh were here, I bet he would talk about how he wants to, shag Supergirl. Because she makes him randy.
Gross. Mop it up. Just tell us about Arrow.
Oh, Ollie, will you ever learn? First off, you don't have any superpowers, and neither does any of your team. And yet you think that, calling out a badass sorcerer is going to go well for you and your comrades? Well, okay, it goes pretty well. You're able to rescue your friends and your family from Dark, but you needed the help of Malcolm Merlyn. That jerk who is obviously going to be the reason Vandal Savage comes back from the ashes. But in this episode, the two big things that are really worth mentioning are Dark almost takes both Ollie and Malcolm out by himself. But Malcolm has a few tricks up his sleeve, aka Quiver, which leads you to think that Dark himself gets blown up, but he doesn't. The second point of interest, after thinking they defeat Dark, Ollie proposes to his lady love, Felicity Smoke, only to be holding her bullet-ridden and bleeding body at the end of the show. I guess she may indeed be the body in the grave referenced earlier this season. Here's to looking forward to the next half of the season and hopefully another crossover.
I love crossover episodes!
Me too! Speaking of which, iZombie kind of crossed over into superhero genre this week, didn't it?
Yep. Looks like maybe Liv is jealous of all the attention Supergirl's been getting from Josh. This week, in iZombie's mid-season finale, she gobbles up the brains of a wannabe superhero called the Fog. Seriously? That's the best you could do, dude? I guess it's still better than his crime-fighting buddy, #. Anyway, whilst fighting crime in the city of Seattle, the Fog gets killed. Liv takes on his superhero persona and attempts to find justice. A welcome change after coming off the stalker brain she was previously on, causing her to not trust Major. And why should she? Not only is he killing zombies and not telling her, but now he's cozying up to this other zombie chick that he's supposed to kill, but instead talks out of killing herself. Why? Because she pulled at his heartstrings with her suicide by the Christmas light? No, because she's hot. If that had been a guy, it would have been game over. Come to find out, this poor girl was not just a zombie, but a zombie hooker. She has to bang people for brains. If that's not a shit life, I don't know what is. So Major feels for her, and instead of killing her, they come up with a plan to freeze her a la Walt Disney's head until a cure is found. But back to Liv, who is out in action and almost gets herself killed, as I'm assuming most wannabe superheroes do, but is saved from being shot by a crime boss named Mr. Boss. Again, iZombie keeping up with their original names. But due to Liv putting herself in harm's way, Babineau decides that she can no longer work on solving cases with him. She is crushed. But that's not the big news in this episode. A dejected Liv comes home to find Major there, who tells her he is now more understanding of her situation after canoodling with the zombie hooker. But Liv is not convinced and that they should be with their own kind, and breaks up with him. Again! Seriously, how many times do we need to endure this? But that's still not the big news. No. That comes when Ravi sees that our little cured zombie lab rat is now white again, meaning the cure is not permanent. So not only will Blaine be returning to his zombie state, but dear old Major will be too. But hey, that means him and Liv can get back together and have sex, which is great news because I missed all those hot sex scenes with her and Lowell. Okay, great work on the mid-season finale, iZombie. Looking forward to your return in January.
Gina, what will you do without Major for a month? I mean, will you go into major withdrawal?
It's okay. I have plenty of pics of him taped on my bedroom wall from Tiger Beat magazine. I'll be fine.
They still make Tiger Beat magazine?
They're still making Star Wars movies?
Star Wars is timeless, Gina. It's an amazing story. Speaking of amazing stories, a short while ago, on a planet in a galaxy far, far away, Ward, Fitz, and Coulson took a little trip. One to save a guy for this girl, another to find and kill a guy for his girl, and the last to find a thing for a group of guys who plan to take over the world. In the end, Guy discovers Guy for girl, who turns out to be the thing for the group. So this guy has to kill this guy, and then this guy killed this guy, who then becomes this thing, all of whom make it through the portal back to Earth. Okay, this guy didn't make it, but that means yay for this guy because he loves this girl. And that was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mid-season finale. Am I right?
Okay, so that just about wraps things up for us this week. Tune in next week for an estrogen-packed wrap-up as we recap Supergirl plus the entire season of Jessica Jones.
And while you're out doing your holiday shopping, remember your local comic shop. There are plenty of items there to please any of us superfans on your list on Christmas Day.
And remember to follow us on all our social media, where we're constantly running contests and giving away goodies. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on our videos.
So until next week, remember, not all of us are destined to be superheroes, but that doesn't mean we can't watch them on TV.
You're welcome.